Hey there, YouTubers. Thought I would do a video, a ramble, while I'm in the car, actually, not in the RV. And I figured I'd put myself on camera, even though I really don't like doing it. But I've been stuck adulting, preparing to adult, waiting to adult, and now today I'm trying to handle some adulting so I can get that stuff out of the way and do some, I will, and do some traveling. So one thing I thought I'd talk about was, I get some comments every now and then that, hey, you should use van life in your titles more than you do of your videos. And that's a good point. And although I do travel in a van, I try to be fair and descriptive and honest in the titles. I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand when somebody puts a title on a video and you go to watch it and you're like, that's not what are you talking about? That ain't it. So I tend to use RV more in my titles, and I talk about it as RVing more than van life. I think I do it in a way that's far closer to RVing, and I don't want to pretend to do something that I'm not doing, or pretend to offer advice that's not going to be the kind of advice people might be looking for. Because when I think of van life, we all got labels about everything we do. I think of van life more as boondocking and stuff like that, and not being connected to power. And in my life, because of the pets, I tend to, and being in the East, I tend to use campgrounds more than I dry camp. So I've done dry camping and I enjoy it, but I don't know about other people, but it doesn't seem to take much heat. And I guess I prefer the idea of being able to find a campground, put the AC on, and they're in there and I can be gone all day. If I have to worry about them in the heat and stuff like that, then I tend not to enjoy my trips as much, which I know I probably worry about that more than I need to. Well, that's a cop, I think. Let's stop for a minute. There's a cop up ahead of me and a phone call. People won't let me be. I'm trying to adult. I'm getting chastised for not adulting properly. A little distracted right now. My brain's not working. It's not functioning properly. So I'll be back. I have something worth talking about, which means that this could be my last video ever. So yeah, I guess I tend to think I do more RVing than I do vanning. Whatever way you do, it's all good. But if you're gonna watch a video on a topic, you should have a good idea that topic is gonna be what they say it's gonna be. It's gonna get choppy because I think my brain is somewhere other than a ramble topic, and it's on a topic that's not ramble-y or not YouTube-y. All right, we'll talk more later. I'll talk, you'll be bored. All right, it's been a while since we spoke. And one step in my required adulting has just been accomplished, and I'm heading back from this adultingness. The adulting thing is getting old, isn't it? Yeah, I think so too.
Take ramp right.
All right, elf boy. You might need to get changed out on the next trip. I wanted to do Christopher Walken, but I don't want to pay 10 bucks. I think it's 10 bucks to buy that voice. And if I could do a decent Christopher Walken, I would do it right here. And now, if I get out west, in the right climate too, because again, I'm probably far too overprotective, but there have been times, even in the 80s, where my pets seem to struggle with that heat a little bit. and I'm not gonna run the generator and leave, and I'm not gonna leave the RV not secure, so you're kind of messed over. Now, if I was fortunate, I'm not a huge fan of the road treks, nothing against them, I prefer the leisure travels, but I know the newer road treks, the E-Trek, has a pretty sizable battery that apparently you can run your air conditioner for like 6 hours off the battery. Now, if I had that kind of money and had that system, life would be totally different. I would RV very differently. I would do closer to vanning, but I like people, so the campground thing doesn't bother me. And I think if you do some research and check things out, that's why I like to, when I travel, I like to have options along the way. You can find some cheap campsites. You'd be surprised. And if you decide to stay somewhere for a week, you can save yourself a lot of money. So you're deciding whether you're putting that week's money into the gas tank or you're putting it into a campground. And personally, I struggle with, I want to see everything, but there's never enough time to see everything. So when I've done long trips where I've driven a lot, I feel like I'm passing everything by, you know. Somebody said a while ago, you know, after a couple days of driving, you should do 2 days where you have one full day of not driving. So I tend to do that a bit. And I know, I mean, back in the day, I could drive forever. I used to drive 17, 18 hours straight, like a lot. But now, and again, traveling with pets, they don't do very well at a lot of that. They like to stop moving. And that's just how I prefer to do it now. I want to try to see some bit of where I'm passing by. I'm gonna do a break here and talk about a different topic and see if it's too long a video to make it into one video, or if I make it into 2 videos when I'm done yakking. We're gonna ramble. Again, don't know if this is its own or if it's going on the other one. But I wanted to kind of do the redundant thing of why I RV, and sometimes I think maybe that helps other people. I don't know. People wonder, well, what makes people do the RVing thing? Again, I'm not full-time. I really had thought I was going to be full-time by now, but I'm not. I'm half to 3/4, but I'm good with that. I'm happy. I'm content. I get to be stable when I want to be, and I get to be wandering when I want to be. So I think I got the best of both worlds for now. But you look at calendars and they start moving a little faster, I think. The more of them that are behind you, it seems that calendar moves a little bit quicker. So you start doing that, if not now, when, and what the hell am I waiting for thing. So that's why I started it. I do it because I like nature. Everybody does it for whatever reason works for them. Whatever reason works for anything you do in your life. If you ain't hurt nobody, who gives a shit? But find your reason, your why, like I say far too often, and enjoy that. Whoop, something in the road. All right, sorry, I'm back. Dodging tires now. Gators in the road. Off of that semi over there. But I do it for the nature. Which is funny because I was a kid growing up in New York City. I remember I was maybe 6 or 7 and we went way upstate in New York. And I was with a cousin or somebody, I don't know, I was a little kid. And we went walking through the woods and an owl hooted and I lost my shit and ran out of the woods. Because I was a city kid, I didn't know what the hell that was. Scared me to death. And then I like to say I got deported to live in Ohio, and I was not happy about it. I didn't want to be with a bunch of farmers. I was a young kid. And I was forced to join the Boy Scouts. I went kicking and screaming. I didn't want to do farmer stuff. You know, I was a pain in the ass teenager, but who's not, right? But I was made to go. And I don't know if I've said this before. And my first camp out, they said, do you want to make a fire? Oh, I'm all in. I was all in. I was hooked. And that was where I developed my love of nature. One of the greatest things that ever happened to me, honestly. I was fortunate that the troop I joined, man, we did everything. We went to Canada a couple times. We took a camp out every month. We went to Philmont. Anybody's aware of Boy Scouts? Philmont, we hiked like 60 miles in the mountains of New Mexico, outside of Raton. Awesome place. I took a trip, we went to Newfoundland. We went from Ohio through Canada to Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and then we came back through the East Coast. We went to the Old North Church. We had a pickup truck. I had 4 or 5 cars of us. I don't remember, maybe 20 kids. And all our stuff was in the back of a pickup truck. Well, at the Old North Church, somebody broke in and stole a bunch of bags. Mine was one of 3 or 4 people. They took all my stuff. So, Boston, yeah. But that's my little history of it. My little way of finding out that I like nature. Finding out that if I had my way, I think I'd rather be doing long hikes. You know, I'm on this whole kick for the North Country Trail where there's a part of me in my brain that would love to try to hike all 4,600 miles of that. It ain't ever gonna happen. But I always liked that part of camping, but I've also gotten a little lazy. And I've gotten a little spoiled. First world problems, I guess, right? So I chose an RV. And I chose a Class B. Main reason, gas mileage. Second benefit reason was I don't need all that much space because I want to be outside. So it all comes down to finding out if you want to do this, what's your motivation and how you're going to accomplish it. And if it works out, fantastic. If it's the greatest thing you've ever done, there's a Born Free, an old Born Free just chugging along. And if it's something you think you want to do and you end up not liking it when you do it, shit happens. But I don't know, maybe if you buy an RV and it ended up it wasn't for you, that might be better than losing, you know, it might be better to lose $5 grand on selling something than to spend years going, what if? I think the what if is the worst part of life. So if you can find a good deal on one and you've been sitting on the fence and you're wanting to do this kind of stuff, I think you go for it. I guess I'm just trying to say there's a little tiny bit of my story. I'm not huge on giving my whole life on the internet, you know. I like to share what I can, but I also like to keep some boundaries. And hopefully most people can understand that and appreciate that.
You can haul a lot of toys in this car.
Yeah, a lot of toys. But hopefully people can appreciate that. I think some YouTubers share way more information than I would ever be comfortable sharing. All right, we're back. And I also want to say, if you're looking at RVing and you haven't started yet, take those rose-colored glasses off. You know, it is an awesome and great thing, but it ain't perfect. And you'll see from time to time some RVers that do YouTube videos, and sometimes they'll share that they have a crap day. And guess what? Life is life. You're gonna have a crap day if you're sitting in your house, if you're sitting at your job, or if you're sitting or driving your RV. We're all gonna have bad days from time to time. For some people, I would guess most people, when you have a crap day in the RV, it seems elevated. It seems more crap. Just eyes wide open, you know? I still think, for those of you that are thinking about it and you keep watching other people's videos, I know I watch people for a while. And that's what I saw from the beginning, was there's goods and bads. There's ups and downs. You know, it's RVing, that's life, that's everything. A lot of people that seem to be oblivious. There's people driving here that are probably talking on YouTube and not paying attention to what the hell they're doing. Dumbasses. But I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. As always, I get to a ramble and I'm like, I think I've already talked about this stuff. I don't think I made a point. And then a few of you out there, maybe you're just messing with me, egg me on to say, no, do another ramble. It's hot today in Ohio. I'm hoping to be out of Ohio soon. That's all I got. I don't know if there was anything even there. And if you ever do yourself go from watching videos to making them, not always as easy as it might seem. You can be very uncomfortable talking to a camera. I raise my hand and admit to that. And it's not always as easy as you think to think you're giving value to somebody, that you're providing something of worth. But for however long this got, there might be 30 seconds worth of a nugget in there for somebody. So I'm going to listen to Elf Boy continue on route, and have a great and wonderful day.